I want to tell you about something rather exciting and amazing and important that happened to me this week. I was given a really important job, a task to do, and I was astonished, and it had me pretty nutsy at the beginning of the week. I wasn't sure I was equipped for it. I wasn't sure that I had the right skills or the right preparation, but the invitation kept coming to me. This is your job. This is your task, your invitation. And I was really aware that at any moment along the way, these last few days, I knew that a small misstep on my part could have literally generational ramifications. That's how significant this task was that I was given. And all week I was anxious and I was afraid, and quite honestly, I was dumbfounded that I was the one chosen for this job. Sleep wouldn't come, I couldn't rest, I just worried. And at this point, you're probably saying to yourselves, well, okay, so what is this big job? Tell us. So I want to tell you the story of a man in our community. And I'm not going to use his name because I think that many of you may know him. He's a little bit older. He's a deeply committed member of our community, involved in lots of charity work, involved in the church. And he's a widower. He raised a couple of children, and he's so highly regarded. Everyone in the community speaks about him with kindness and with respect, with love, and with a deep sense of trust and loyalty for what he's given the community over the years. Well, as luck, or perhaps grace would have it, after a number of years of being a widow, he met a young woman and he fell in love, and he is getting ready to be married again. He proposed to her, and there was this amazing outpouring of love and support and celebration in the community for their love and for this marriage, which is heartwarming and inspiring to all of us. And then he found out some information that sent him into a pit of despair. This young woman with whom he is planning to have a life is pregnant, which is normally a very happy moment, a very happy and joyous occasion. Only in this case, as it turns out, the baby is not his. And he's gutted. He feels betrayed, angry, confused, and truthfully, he feels absolutely humiliated to have been so taken in by this young woman and so betrayed. And I learned that he had shared with his closest friends and family that he was going to end the engagement and just quietly go back to his life and let her go on with her life and have this child without a lot of fanfare, without making her out to be an evil person. And then I learned of this special job that I was to do, to try and find a way to communicate with him the blessing and the importance of this child in the woman's life, in his life, in the life of our community, and for the future of the world. No small task, and I have been sweating it all week long. How do you talk to somebody who feels so hurt and try and invite them to see the bigger picture? How do you honor their pain and at the same time pass on the message that perhaps they can set their pain aside in the hopes of a deeper, more satisfying joy and reward later on? I mean, think about this. I was asked to try and talk to a man whose life has just been pulled out from underneath him, who has made a decision to walk away out of faith, out of morality, and to try and get him to see a different path forward out of nothing more than trust, pure trust, sheer trust. Talk about pressure. I didn't know what to do. So I called my spiritual director and I said to her, you're not going to believe what they're asking me to do. How in the world did I get picked for this? They honestly think I'm prepared. What if I mess this up? If I mess this up, then the whole plan goes to hell in a handbasket and we're screwed. But there was no escaping it. No matter how many different ways I tried to pass this job onto someone else, it remained my task, my assignment, given to me by the highest authority. So it's been given to me to try and communicate with this man he's very unassuming. He's very shy. He's very quiet. He's the guy who stands in the back of the room at a party. He's not boisterous. He's steady and sturdy. And working quietly to make things better for people. So it wouldn't have been as easy as approaching him and saying, hey, let's go have a beer. I want to talk to you. That would have scared him off for sure. How do I approach him? How do I talk with him? And I prayed about it, and I prayed about it, and I prayed about it. What is the best approach? And finally, it came to me that perhaps I could talk to him in a dream. So I waited a few days to let his heart settle, to let him find some equilibrium where maybe he might be open just a little bit. And a couple of days ago, it was a beautiful evening. It wasn't so cold. It was before it had snowed. There was this gentle breeze and the sky was so clear. I swear you could see stars for light years. That's how clear the sky was. There was a sense of calm and gentleness hovering in the air. And I thought, okay, tonight's my moment. So the man worked all day in his wood shop. He did what he does in the evening. He said his prayers, and then he went to bed and he fell asleep. And after a while, I went to the place where he was sleeping, and I sat so quietly, and I listened to his breathing, and I listened to his heartbeat to see if he really was relaxed and feeling more grounded, to see if there was any opening in his heart to be able to hear a message of hope and love. And as I sat listening and praying, I realized, yes, this was the right moment. And I moved into his dreams and I said to him, I know that this has been the shock of your life, but you don't need to be afraid. It's easy to be afraid of what we don't know, and it's easy to be afraid of situations that arise from other people's choices. And I want to tell you that the message I have for you today is that you have been chosen. This child will be yours in the only ways that matter. You are warm and kind and loving and so giving. This child is going to need a father to show him how to move in our world, a father who will help him understand that it's okay for men to be gentle, that it's okay for men to be kind, that it's okay for them to listen to and respect women and to see the poorest among us. You do that. It's who you are. There's a light in you that can help heal the world. And you're going to teach this little boy when he's born how to be like you, because he has an important job to do. You have been chosen, just as the woman has been chosen. And someday she will tell you her story, and you will be just as gobsmacked by her story as you are by this experience of your own that you're having. So we're asking you to do this for the sake of this beautiful woman and her baby, and for the sake of our world. But the choice is yours. If you wake up tomorrow and you decide, I just can't do it, it's not for me, you will still be loved, and you will still matter, and you will still have a place in this life and in this world. And if you wake up tomorrow and you trust that what I'm telling you is true, and you say, yes, I have to tell you, life will not be easy. There will be moments of pain. There will be moments of sorrow. There will also be moments of great joy and laughter. There will come a day when you try to teach this beautiful baby boy how to be a woodworker like you, and he will fail miserably at it. And you will shake your head and free him to go and do the other things, to follow the path that has been chosen for him. You were such a blessing to your first wife, to your children. You're a blessing to this community. You are a blessing. The child in this marriage will also be a blessing, and it will be hard work. You will need to protect him and his mother, safeguard them, help them. And in return, you will be loved by this child as no one has ever been loved. But it is your choice. So sleep peacefully with an open heart. Rest your mind from all the worries that have come from this situation. And when you wake up in the morning, you will know what your heart wants to do. And then I sat quietly for a few more minutes and I said some prayers, and then I departed, having completed the job that I was assigned to do. I heard the next morning that when the man got up, he called his family and told them that he had had a change of heart. I'm going to proceed with the marriage, and I think it's going to be a very interesting life, and I think it can be a beautiful life. That's what he said to them. There were so many moments this past week that I knew the wrong word for me, the wrong movement, the wrong breath could have blown the whole thing to bits. But somehow grace was poured over me. The grace that comes from the one who breathes life into us, the one who sees hope when we see despair, and laughter in the moments when we just want to bang our heads against the wall and cry. I didn't know if I was up for this task. I didn't think that I was, but I was asked to do it and I was trusted to do it. And I realized along the way this week, just as that child who is going to be born has a special job to do, and his mother has a special job, and this beautiful man who had this opening of his heart has a special job to do, I also have a special job to do. But not just me. Every one of us is invited to a special task. So maybe the next time an invitation like this comes to me, I won't be so afraid myself, and I will trust the invitation. For today, I am hopeful and looking forward to greeting this amazing child when he comes to us at the moment when it is just right.